Hello and welcome. My name is Gio from SwitchRPG.com. We are here at PAX East 2020. We are here with, I'm sorry, I didn't even get your name. Did I get your name?
Jackie.
Jackie. And what do you do with the Wintermoor Tactics Club?
I'm actually the producer on Wintermoor Tactics Club, which is pretty unusual for an indie game.
Yeah. Very, very cool. It is kind of unusual. I mean, how big is the group?
There's only 6 of us.
Only a half dozen. And how long have you guys been working on Wintermoor?
In sum total, about 3.5 years now. It'll be just about the 4-year anniversary when we launch.
Oh, excellent. Now, do you have a time frame as to when it may be coming out?
Spring 2020.
Spring 2020. And is that for PC, console?
Yep, if everything goes right with certification, we're hoping to simultaneously release on PC, Xbox, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch.
Now, that's awesome. I can't wait for the Nintendo Switch version, obviously. Now, we've actually bypassed a lot of the important information. Tell me a little bit more about Wintermoor.
Sure, yeah. So Wintermoor Tactics Club is a narrative-driven tactics RPG. So think you're like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, your Fire Emblem, but also mix in your, visual novels, your really narrative-driven experiences, and maybe a little touch of, your Persona 4 sort of thing. So in Wintermoor Tactics Club, you play as the prestigious Wintermoor Academy's Tactics Club, where they play Curses and Catacombs. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. The premier tabletop RPG of the era.
Gotcha.
And they're just minding, you're just minding your own business, having your little nerd cluster club, and then the principal announces this mandatory snowball tournament.
Wow.
With all the clubs in the school, and if you don't participate or you lose, you're immediately disbanded and not allowed to do your club activity anymore.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, high stakes for high school, right? So throughout the game, you play Curses and Catacombs with your friends, prepare for these snowball battles for the tournament, and then also investigate what this tournament's about. What's the principal's obsession with the ultimate club? Like, what's going on and the mystery behind that?
So there's like a little bit of a metagame
Yes.
within kind of just going through high school sort of stuff. Now, that you mentioned all these clubs and whatnot. So if you defeat a club, what in turn happens?
Yeah, so the club is actually disbanded, and then you can talk to them throughout the school. And actually, very small spoiler, you'll actually start to recruit members from clubs that have been disbanded, because the main character, Alicia, just she gets so much from her club and, having a place where she can be herself, that she's so empathetic. She understands that it must be really hard for these other clubs to lose that place and a part of their identity. So she wants to try and help them by showing them how something like Curses and Catacombs, a tabletop RPG, and a game can help them express themselves and be who they are.
Actually, I love that idea. And in fact, I think the nerd culture in general is getting more accepted throughout the world here. So I myself am doing the same thing. Now, when you're facing off against these clubs, does the environment also change, like in the Curses and Catacombs? Like, I did see an equestrian club. Does
Yep.
the battlefield display that as well?
Yes, so the one of the conceits that they realize is that the rules of the tournament are actually extremely and suspiciously similar to Curses and Catacombs. So they can use their tactical knowledge from Curses and Catacombs in the snowball tournament, which are basically the boss battles. And so and as you do these snowball tournament battles, you face off against these clubs and you kind of imagine them as these fantasy versions of themselves, right? So the first club you fight is the Young Monarchists. And so they're this club that wants to bring back the monarchy. And so once you go into snowball tournament mode, they're wearing big, Victorian gowns and armor that you might wear during a...
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Now, are there, so you've mentioned that you can recruit certain members. Are there things like romance options, things like that? I mean, they're in high school, so I figured, why not?
Yeah, so the game has been now officially rated E for everyone. So there's no smooching. But yeah, I mean, it's high school. We try and be true to it. We try to be authentic to kind of that experience in high school. But no, it's not Fire Emblem, Four Houses, we're not like romancing and choosing who. It is a pretty linear narrative. We're going for a pretty confined experience, so if you're looking for like a 10, 15, maybe 20-hour experience, this is the game for you.
That's perfect. I think that's a great amount of time to play an RPG where you can sit down, relax. It's not like a Fire Emblem where you're spending hundreds of hours, 300 hours even playing that game.
Yeah, we're trying to fit a gap we felt like exists in the tactics RPG world where, really good dedication to narrative that intertwines with the tactics really well. So like, for example, you'll write campaigns and it'll actually change things about the campaign as you play them.
So there's are there branching narratives?
Not quite, but a little bit, enough that it does affect the battles, but there aren't like multiple endings.
Are there different weapon types and whatnot?
Yeah, so as you play the game, you can actually do side quests. They're optional and get upgrades and changes that change the way your attacks and abilities work. There's also challenge battles, and these are definitely for those that are more into the tactics genre and into that mechanic. Because as they complete these challenge battles, they're actually going to get special abilities that they can use as a reward for completing.
Is that how the are there stats that get manipulated or stat progression?
We actually kept it really simple, but yes, right? Like there's magical attacks, there's physical attacks, there's magical armor, physical armor. We tried to keep it pretty simple because we want to make sure that this game appeals to someone who's maybe never played a tactics game before or has bounced off the genre before because of the intensity that is something like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics.
So it sounds like a great entry-level tactics game. I myself cannot wait for this game. I am really excited about this. When I saw it instantly, the character design, the environmental design really drew me in. So whoever did that, kudos to them.
Yeah, Leo Dasso is our lead artist on the team. We've also contracted with a few other artists. But yeah, he just does phenomenal work. It's beautiful and just so cozy, the perfect aesthetic for what we're going for.
And I'm really excited you got with Versus Evil. Yes. From what I understand, they really love their RPGs, so kudos to them. But thank you very much for doing this today, and everyone check out Wintermoor Tactics Club. And again, when was that?
Spring 2020.
Spring 2020. Get it.